Hey guys, this is up to the 5 here again. So today is our first lecture again for calculus. So I think the first thing we should recover over again would be functions. Let's understand in depth what a function is. So let's see what it says. So it states that, definition, a function f is a rule that assigns to each element x in a set A exactly one element called f of x in a set B. So what this is saying is that we have a function that sends messages to another thing, another object, and it goes one to one, and it also goes backwards. So what I'm saying is that, let's say we have this set here A, and it has these three elements here, and this set B here that has these three elements. This function here is a function that's one to one if each point goes to their own respective points without going to another one. There are functions that that have elements that go to different sets, but when I say that, I mean, let's say I have these 2 points here and we have only 1 point. There is functions that go where both the elements go to 1 point. It's still a function, it's just not one to one. So now let's give a different example of let's give a nice visualization besides this one as an example. So ideally what you want to try to remember before we get heavy into calculus, like I said, this is a review of what a function is. So let's use a real life example. Let's pretend everyone's on social media, they're commenting, they're uploading videos and pictures and stuff like that. So let's say you're typing up your comment, right? This is the element. And you want to put it in, and you're using it, and you're trying to put it in on social media via Twitter. You're using the Twitter app. This acts like your function. So pretend this is like your x and this is your f. This is your function that you're using. So after you've typed up what you want to say, and then before you hit tweet or send, the app spits it out and it counts it as a post or the output f of x. So remember, this is the output that comes out of the other side of this machine, and this is the input. So understand that whenever we're talking about a function, use this visualization to remember that I made a comment through the app, this is the function app, and spat it out and I made the post. Okay? So now let's do that same idea but in mathematics now. So let's say we have this example here. Let's say our example is if f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 5x plus 1, and h is not equal to 0, then we're going to evaluate f of a plus h minus f of a all over h. So pretend that this thing here, this is the element that you want to put into this machine, okay? So wherever we see an x, we're going to put this element here, a plus h, into this machine here. But we're also going to subtract this element a into this where we see x's, and then we're going to divide everything by h. So let's see, how does that look like? So let's do this part first. A plus h into every part where we see an x. So it's 2 times a plus h squared minus 5 times a plus h plus 1 minus, for my purposes, I prefer to use parentheses, so minus 2x, oh, sorry, not x. We're applying the a part here, so it's 2a squared minus 5a plus 1 all over h, okay? So now, after we've expanded this and multiplied this by 2, right? Well, first I can expand it. It's 2 times a squared plus 2ah plus h squared minus 5a minus 5h plus 1. Now, after I've done the arithmetic and did the minus sign, this becomes negative 2a squared plus 5a minus 1 all over h. So now after we multiply this part, we get 2a squared plus 4ah plus 2h squared minus 5a plus 5h plus 1 minus 2a squared plus 5a minus 1 all over h. So we're gonna continue writing this at the top. Okay, so we're gonna go back on top. So now let's get rid of some cancellations here. So we have a 2a squared as positive, and we're gonna knock out with the negative. We have a negative 5a, and there's a positive 5a. There's a positive 1, and then there's a negative 1. So all we're left with is 2h squared plus 4ah plus 2h squared being divided by h. Oh, I forgot, sorry. There's also a 5h as well. Sorry about that. Plus 5h. No. It's not positive, it's negative, sorry. I'm mixing up my signs. It's minus 5 because you see 5a and negative 5h, so yeah, so it's negative still. So we have 4 things left. We divided everything by h, so I'm left with 2h plus 4a plus 2h I just now caught myself. Whoops. Whoopsie doodle. I made too many h's. Sorry about that. Yeah, because this thing can get messy, as you can see. So the a's aren't there, so there's only 3 things. 4ah, fine, that's correct. Plus 2h squared minus 5h, that's fine. Okay, so it's just 3 things. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's been a while, so it's okay. I'm bound to make mistakes. It's fine. 4a plus 2h minus 5, and that's it. And this would be your output. Sorry about that. So this would be your output of the original function we had earlier. So this is why it's important to know what a function is, understand, and show you that it's very important to have your algebra and your arithmetic on point. So you see I made some careless mistake there, but it's fine. We're supposed to make mistakes and learn from it. So anyway, so this has been Absolute 5. I'm Roger Palomino, and math is infinite. So also be sure to let me know if you like this video or not. Share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another lecture.